The first time he spoke his dream out loud, it felt like releasing a bird from his chest. For years it had lived there quietly, wings folded, warm, and alive. He told his friend in a crowded tea shop, steam rising from chipped cups, voices overlapping like static. One day, he said, smiling nervously, "I'll build something of my own. Not just a job. Something that matters." The words sounded brave as they left his mouth. They sounded real, but as soon as they landed on the table between them, something shifted. His friend laughed, not cruelly, but casually, the way people laugh when they've seen too many broken attempts. "That's big talk," he said. "People like us don't usually make it that far." He meant no harm. He was protecting reality the way most people do, by trimming hope down to a manageable size. Still, the bird inside the man's chest flinched. After that, it became easier to talk than to work. Each time he spoke about his dream, he felt a small rush, a sense of progress without effort. People nodded. Some encouraged him. Others warned him. Every reaction fed him something: validation, doubt, advice he didn't ask for. Slowly, without noticing, he began confusing attention with achievement. The dream, once fragile and alive, was now being handled by too many hands. There is a strange thing that happens when dreams are spoken too early. They leave the quiet place where they grow. In silence, dreams are raw and protected. They don't have to defend themselves. They don't have to explain their shape or justify their existence. But once spoken, they are judged, measured, compared. They are forced to wear clothes before their bones are fully formed. An old man lived near the edge of the city, known for repairing watches no one else could fix. His shop was small and dim, filled with ticking sounds like dozens of tiny hearts. One afternoon, the man with the fading dream wandered in, drawn by the stillness. While the old man worked, he talked about his ideas, his plans, his frustration that nothing seemed to move forward. He expected advice, strategies, motivation. The old man listened without interrupting. When the watch finally began to tick again, he slid it across the counter and said, "Do you know why watches are built with covers?" The man shook his head. "Because the mechanism is delicate," the old man said. "Dust can ruin it. Moisture can stop it. Even light, too much of it, can damage certain parts. Dreams are the same. Not everything alive should be exposed." The words lingered longer than any encouragement ever had. From that day, the man tried something different. He stopped announcing his plans. He stopped explaining what he would do someday. When people asked about his future, he answered simply, "I'm working." At first, the silence felt uncomfortable, like withholding a secret that wanted to be shared. But slowly, something changed. Without the release of talking, the pressure stayed inside him. It turned into movement. He began waking earlier, working later, learning quietly. Failures no longer felt embarrassing because no one knew about them. There was no audience to disappoint. Successes, when they came, were small and private, like finding a green shoot breaking through soil. The bird in his chest grew stronger, not because it was admired, but because it was fed. Silence did not mean fear. It did not mean hiding. It meant respect. He learned that not everyone deserves access to your becoming. Most people, even kind ones, will project their limits onto your future. They will tell you what is realistic based on where they stopped. When you speak your dream too early, you invite their ceilings into your sky. There is also another danger in speaking dreams aloud. The mind mistakes declaration for completion. Neuroscience shows that when you talk about a goal and receive approval, your brain releases some of the same chemicals it would if you had actually achieved it. You feel satisfied before you've done the work. The fire dims. Silence, on the other hand, keeps the hunger sharp. Months passed. The man changed, not dramatically, not in a way others noticed right away. But inside, there was a steadiness that hadn't been there before. He no longer needed to convince anyone of who he was becoming. He knew, and knowing quietly was more powerful than shouting ever had been. When the day finally came that his work stood on its own, visible, undeniable, people were surprised. "You never told us," they said. He smiled. There was no bitterness in it, only understanding. Some dreams die when you speak them because they are not ready for the world. They need darkness, patience, and silence to grow roots deep enough to survive. The light. The power of silence is not in saying nothing forever. It is in choosing when to speak. It is in protecting what is sacred until it is strong. A seed does not announce itself to the soil. A child does not run before learning to stand. And a dream, if it is to live, must first be allowed to grow without commentary. If your dreams have faded, ask yourself not how hard the world is, but how often you have exposed them too soon. Perhaps they did not fail because they were weak, but because they were unprotected. Keep them quiet for a while. Let them breathe. Let them hurt you into action instead of soothing you with words. When the time comes, you won't need to speak them at all. They will speak for you.